Okay, thanks Ben for that exciting presentation on developing VM skill sets. And one of the things that Ben was showing just now was a speakerphone that he's using for his current call. And that's a device that's optimized for Teams. And so this is exactly what I'm going to be talking about in this very short presentation, right? It's only going to be around 10 slides. And why are we talking about devices, right? As you know, many of us are working from home, right? And having working from home is that we obviously do a lot of calls, take a lot of these kind of meetings on calls on home, and we and our home environment is not necessarily always very conducive for having meetings. Right? There are distractions around you. Maybe you have baby at home, and you have a maid, vacuuming the floor, or there's just noises from outside your neighbors and stuff like that. So while you can always use your laptop's built-in camera and microphone and speakers to do the meetings like what we're doing now, but not it's not always that ideal, right? For example, the Dell laptop that I have, another laptop that I have, has a camera built in, but the camera is really poor at low light conditions, and the speaker on that laptop is really very soft, so I can't really hear the meeting properly, even if I max out the volume. So that's where devices come in, right? Devices actually help to optimize your home office experience to make sure that you are having that meeting that's really that you can concentrate, focus on that meeting without having the distractions, and also to have the best meeting experience for your other participants as well, so that they don't pick up the noises that you might be hearing in your home. So in this session, I talk about the different devices that's available for Microsoft Teams, right? And these are broken down into essentially two main areas, right? We have devices that are meant for individual workspaces, and there are also devices that are meant for group workspaces, right? And for individual workspaces, we're primarily talking about audio and video peripherals like headsets, speakerphones, right? And using your PC and also your potentially IP phones. For group workspaces, obviously these are more for your, so for the individual workspaces, it's either for the home office, like what we're doing right now, or you're in a go or in transit. Whereas the group workspaces solutions are more for meeting rooms, huddle rooms, and collaboration workspaces, right? And so for this session, we're only going to focus on the individual workspaces, essentially how you can get these devices, personal devices, to optimize your team's experience. So it's important to note that regardless of whether you are using a personal device or a shared device, whether it's a headset or a speakerphone, Microsoft has a goal of making the teams, of having all these devices uh, ha based on all these four pillars, right? Making sure that the team's experience is consistent across all the device types, right? And having every device needs to give a inclusive experience, right? So it gives everyone a voice, right? Wherever they may be, picking up the voice, the human voice from the distracting noises. It has to be certified, right? Certified means that we go through a lot of testing to make sure that it actually works well with Teams. And it has to be reliable, manageable, and have the kind of support that users need that require, right, for those business kind of scenarios, right? So with that backdrop, against this backdrop, right, one of the things that we want to make sure is that when we actually uh, purchase or actually get a device that is used for our meetings in Teams, we want to make sure that it is actually going through the certified logo, right? It has to be tested and certified by Microsoft before you actually, to make sure that you have the best experience and before you actually go and get one, right? So there are devices that are certified for Skype for Business that has been around for many years right now. And recently we also have, in the last couple of years, we also have devices that are certified for Microsoft Teams, right? And so these devices go through very tough testing, right? It's done by independent labs, right? And so it goes through a whole list of testings requirements, and if they don't meet the standards that Microsoft has set for the particular platform, whether it's Skype or Teams, then those devices will not be certified, right? So getting a certified device ensures that you are getting the best experience that's meant to work just right out of the box, right? And it's important to note also that devices that are actually certified for Skype for Business may not necessarily be certified for Skype for Microsoft Teams. right? So because Skype for Business has been around for a very long time, so some of the older devices that are certified for Skype for Business may not be going through certification for Microsoft Teams because maybe primarily because they're probably going to end of life, right? So the newer devices, of course, are going to be certified only for Microsoft Teams. Now, having said that, if you currently have a Skype for Business certified device, like for example, a headset or microphone or a speaker, it probably will also work on Microsoft Teams with a subset of features, right? So it is not to say that you need to throw it away. You can probably still use it, but if you want you have the full set of features that Microsoft Teams offers and to have the best experience, then it's always better to get a Microsoft Teams certified device. Okay, so what are these devices, right? Before we jump into devices, it's important to note that why certification is important. So let's take a look at headsets, for example, right? Certified headsets deliver the kind of value that other kinds of headsets don't, right? For example, here you can on the left, you can see there's a number of criteria that headsets have to meet, right, in order to be certified for Skype for Business or for Teams. For example, it has to have built-in communication, right? Versus if you have the headset that's only built for listening to music, you're unlikely to have a microphone built in. So that's not going to work, right? And also you want to have a microphone that's built in, integrated. You don't have to add additional components, and you want to make sure that the microphone is the quality is actually is consistent, right? And also, if it's a wireless, right, it needs to have a dongle, and more importantly, it needs to have HID integration with Teams. For example, that is actually means human interface device, right? So it actually has to have that the integration available, and it has to offer the kind of support, right, that users want, right? So if they're on using it for their everyday work, like what I'm doing right now, I'm using a headset right now, right? If I have any problems with this headset, I need to be able to contact the manufacturer and be able to get assistance and support, right? If you just go for a consumer grade kind of headset, that's unlikely going to be the case. So that's one of the example of how headsets, when you buy a certified device, for example, headset will deliver the kind of value that non-certified devices are not going to provide. And so another thing that to note, right, the new category of Teams certified devices actually have a Teams button, right, specially built on that device itself, right? This allows that particular device to be optimized for the whole Microsoft Teams experience. So if you have, for example, you can see the devices on the screen, there's actually Teams button. Now, if you press that button, it will immediately bring up the Teams application on the device that you're paired with. So on the left-hand side, you may have paired a mobile phone to the station. On the right-hand side, you may have paired the speaker to your PC. So pressing the Teams button on any of these devices would bring up the Teams application on your mobile phone or on your PC, depending on where you're using it, right? And so not only that, the device, the button actually has lights, color-coded lights that can indicate the status, right? So it can flash when there's a message or there's an incoming call. You can show red when you're muted and green if you're not on mute. So things like that, right? So this, and in future, there's also going to be additional capabilities that are going to be built into the Teams button itself, right? So it could be things like a natural language processing that you can press the button, hold it down, and then you can actually speak and use voice activated commands to actually do activities within the Teams application itself. Okay. So yeah, so this is a close-up look of the Teams buttons that's on the different devices. And these are all the new ones that are going to be certified for Teams. All of them will have the newer Teams certified devices will have the Teams button that's built in. So here's an example of also what Ben was showing earlier on, a speakerphone. So here we have examples where we have speakerphones from Jabra, from Sennheiser, Yearlink, and also Poly, right? And these come with different kinds of capabilities. Some of them have Bluetooth, some of them have 3.5 mm connections, some of them have USB connections, right? And all of them have built-in batteries that can probably last very good, easily 4 to 5 hours of talk time, right? So this should last you very well for that long meeting. And it's very useful when you have that meeting and you don't want to be wearing a headset on your over your head, all right, or putting something in your ear. You want to be able to put it just in front of you, and you can have very good audio. And most of these speakerphones actually have up to a 10 feet kind of pickup range, right? The microphone, right? So it's able to pick up from different directions as well. So you could potentially even be be having two persons, like having in the same call as well. So this is the first example of how devices can complement the kind of Teams experience that you have, right? So, example, like I said earlier on, my laptop, my Dell laptop speaker is really so soft that even if I max out the volume, I really can't hear anything. So that's where these speakerphones really come in very, very handy, right? A second example of a broad set of peripherals would be including not just speakerphones but headsets, webcams, and mobile stations, right? So headsets, again, like what I'm using right now, there are different kinds of headsets for different kinds of environments as well, right? We have headsets that are built for the open office or the open home office, to say, right? Like I said, your home is not necessarily the same as your office. You can have neighbors, you can have noises coming from outside your house, you can have even your children playing around in your living room. You can have someone vacuuming the floor. All this can contribute to noise, which can offer distraction not only to you but also to the far side. So having active noise cancellation on these open offices headsets would definitely help to reduce the kind of noise, distracting noise. And these devices usually are also multi-point Bluetooth devices, meaning that you can also pair it with your mobile phones together with your PC, so you can use both at the same time. There are also headsets that's built for on the go. So these are mainly, you have wireless earbuds, you can have those over the ear kind of headsets, and also on the ear as well. So these are, again, multi-point Bluetooth devices. You can pair it with your phones and your PCs and your laptops. And they also have active noise cancellation and also have very long battery life, right? Enough to typically last you the whole day, right? And then finally, you have those that are desk bound, right? So these are mostly corded headsets or headsets that require a dongle, right? So these usually come either with USB connection or just 3.5 mm connectivity, and also have either active or passive noise cancellation, right? So for example, the headset that I'm using right now is a corded headset. So connecting it to 3.5 mm on my laptop, that frees up my USB port for my camera, for example, right? And so it also has passive noise cancellation. And the important thing is that a lot of these more premium headsets have very soft ear cushions, so you can actually put them on for the whole day and not feel any kind of pain or discomfort on your ears, right? So it's very important to actually have those headsets. And then high performance webcams, right? So I know I'm running a little bit over time, just wrapping up very soon. So high performance webcams, like I said, earlier on, my Dell laptop webcam, the built-in webcam really cannot make it, right? It's actually, if I use that webcam, it's essentially just really very low, very dark, and people can't really see my face properly. And so that's where you have, if you have a very good built-in webcam on your laptop, that's great. But if you don't, you can opt to actually get one of these external high-performance certified webcams, right? So here, example, you have the Logitech webcams, the Poly ones, and the Jabra ones. Each of those have different feature sets, right? And most of them are all USB, USB-A or USB-C. Now, it's important to also, if you want to have privacy, make sure you have a webcam that has a privacy shutter, right? Because you want to be able to shut it off, just to make sure that you don't accidentally be having the camera on and people are actually seeing what you may not want them to see, right? And some of these cameras actually also have speaker tracking as well, so you could potentially even fidget around or roam around in your desk, it will still be able to track you. Okay, so finally, the last part is actually a quick video on IP phones, right? Some of us actually, especially if you're in contact centers and you always want to have a phone with you, then there are also phones that are optimized for Teams. So I'm just going to run this very quick video to show you that how that actually works. So let me just make sure I present the video and include the system audio. Okay, got it. So just a quick play, just a few minutes, just 1-2 minutes, this video. Let me know if you cannot hear the audio.
Transform every conversation with Microsoft Teams phones. Make every call experience count with high-definition audio and video. When arriving at the office, Microsoft Teams phones allow you to quickly view missed calls and voicemail and check your schedule for the day. Easily manage, listen to, or read your voicemail. With one touch, instantly join a scheduled meeting. Enable video to enrich online meetings and connect face-to-face with your team. Quickly find the person you need to reach. With one touch, place a call to your contact. With high-definition audio quality, Microsoft Teams phones help you communicate better with your team, making every conversation count. See all your incoming calls. Manage multiple calls by taking advantage of advanced features, such as quickly parking or transferring a call. Microsoft Teams phones are also an excellent choice for common areas. Make a private call using a Microsoft Teams phone built for common areas, and it will automatically remove any call history and personal data. Use any Microsoft Teams phone to quickly and directly call emergency services. Transform every conversation and fulfill business needs in any space with Microsoft Teams phones.
Okay, so hopefully that kind of gives you a quick. I don't work for Yearlink or AudioCodes, by the way. I'm not trying to promote any particular brand, but essentially just to wrap up, right? Phones has been the productivity cornerstone of productivity for many years, and there are now a lot of Teams phones that's available for your for customers to purchase, right? So I won't go into details, but just to wrap up, right? Take advantage of some of the partner-led programs right now. So there are a lot of companies that are running promotions right now, especially during this circuit breaker period, that especially headsets, right, even speakerphones, right, you can get a big discount if you're actually going to buy them from some of these partners, right? So do take note, contact your resellers and see if they actually have this special offers. So just to wrap up, all the devices that I mentioned are all available, and the full catalog is available at the Microsoft website in the link that you see below there. So do go and have a browse and actually go and get one of these devices to make sure that you get the best experience of your Teams meetings. So hopefully that I convince you that devices do make a difference. They actually help to enhance your overall team experience, especially this time where during the circuit breaker, everyone is working. Many of us are working from home, right? And so you want to make sure that you can work from home as good as you are working as though you're in the office. So devices actually help to enhance and optimize that kind of meeting experience in terms of audio, video, qualities, right? So that's all I have for this short session. So I'll just pass this time back to Renee. Any questions?
Okay. Great. Yeah. Any questions for Brennon? Anything you want to know?
Okay. No. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Over to you,
good.
Ben. Over to you, Renee.
Okay. Good. Then I'm gonna. Okay. Ben. No. Then let me share my screen.
Hi, Brennon. I want to ask a question.
Yes.
So my question is simple. This one must be for company, right? Because last time I tried to buy the Jabra one, for example, they say this must be not like private, personal. Must be a company. I can buy the one that is certified for Teams, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, many of those devices are not consumer grade devices. So if you go to like your Challenger or your Harvey Norman, you're probably not going to be able to find those devices. And you're right. So the way you would purchase it, you will ask your company to purchase on your behalf and have it sent to your home. And that's what a lot of companies are doing right now. So like I work for a company that makes headsets, and over the last few weeks, we have seen a massive increase in number of headset sales. Right, so companies are buying lots of these and then sending it out to their employees so that they can work from home effectively. Yeah, but you're right. A lot of these devices, because they're not consumer grade, you're not going to be able to find them in your typical retail supermarket or shops.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, great.